everyone, my name is Duriem, co-founder of Taxle, a great business opportunity that is looking forward to disrupt the tax services in the United States. Before I start talking about Taxle, let's think about this question: why taxes? Well, Benjamin Franklin once said that there is nothing certain in life except death and taxes. He was very right at his time. And then if we add to that situation, we realize that the tax legislation is changing. And in 2018, we're going to see an increase in uncertainty, which is going to trigger more demand in tax services. Either way, what's the problem that we're trying to tackle? The problem that we're trying to tackle is that we start discovering that there is like one sector of the population that has been underserved their tax needs. And that sector is millennials. Millennials are about 1/4 of the US population. And millennials usually have busy families, busy schedules. They start opening small business, they're entrepreneurs, adding properties, and then they were using to doing by themselves their taxes, but with all these triggers in their life, they are no longer being able to do it. Tax is very complex. So when they're looking for tax services, then they go into an industry in which they cannot find a flexibility of life balance that can accommodate to the current scale. With that idea in mind, we came out with this great business opportunity that we call Taxle. Taxle is going to transform complex taxes into easy solutions, and this is going to be key. We're going to be serving families, we're going to be serving entrepreneurs, we're going to be serving small businesses, and those, especially millennials, that they used to do the taxes by themselves, and now they are trying to do that. They have like trigger events in their life that they are no longer able to do it. We're going to provide a 100% online platform. We're going to educate our customer, and we're going to strive to build long-life relationship with our clients. So where is Taxle located? Taxle is going to be located in the city of Spokane, Washington. Beautiful area. We already have secured a lease agreement in the Floor Mill building. It's a beautiful location, high foot traffic area with a lot of store. We look forward to embrace all our population of millennials in the Spokane area. So now let's talk a little bit about the industry analysis. So in the industry analysis, we have seen that this is not a new industry. This is an industry that has been in the market for a long, long time, in part because it's required by law. But the fact that it's required by law, it doesn't mean it has to be complex. So if we see the industry enjoy 11.2 billion in revenue with a 2.2 billion in profits. That means that it creates a margin of around 20%. This is a very good margin. But at the same time, you can see the amount of small businesses, the amount of businesses that is in the industries, we're seeing that is almost like 120,000 businesses. It's a very segmented industry, dominated in part by the top player, but for the rest 50% of the industry is dominated by the small businesses. And we're looking forward to make a difference in that direction. So how are we going to do that? So let's take a look further at the trend, how the industry has been growing. In the past 5 years, the industry has been growing at a 5% rate. This is great, and we believe that rate is going to increase because tax regulation is changing. And changing the tax regulation, it means more uncertainty. And Taxle is going to be ready to seize that opportunity and get all those customers. Now, let me tell you how. Let's take a look at the cost structure. I know there is a lot of things going on in this graph, but let's focus in a couple of key parameters. First, we're going to see how the industry do their cost structure, and then how Taxle is planning to do it. And that's going to deal with our competitive advantage. So first, Taxle is going to focus in wage. It's going to provide to our employee a strong wage compared to the industry. On top of that, Taxle is going to focus in support marketing. Marketing is going to be very easy, very hard at the beginning, but it's something that we're going to pay attention because we want to build a reputation. We want to build a strategy that is going to be based on customer perception. So when millennials think about a tax services that is convenient, that is going to fulfill their needs, then we're going to think Taxle first. Now let's talk about target market and marketing plan. Who's going to be our customer? So it's gonna be those millennials that make over $50,000, that they own a home, that they graduate from college, that start starting up their own businesses, they're adding second properties, and they start having those triggers in their life that they're no longer going to be able to prepare the taxes by themselves. Spokane is a great area for that. Spokane, if we look into the facts about Spokane, it has over 50% of the population make over $50,000. Over 60% of those are married, and then over 30% of those, they have a bachelor's degree. Now, the next question is, how do we going to capture the market? This is a very, very, very important question. So, but before answering that question, we went and asked the people of Spokane, hey, what do you think about tax services? And they say, well, peace of mind comes first. We always go to the professional first. And for those even that prefer to do it by themselves, the taxes, when they are in doubt, they look for a professional. Has been a repetitive answer in our target customers. And then the next question that we ask is, hey, how do you go and look for a tax service professional? They say, for us, referrals are very, very important. And by the way, we prefer locals. So that was a good market hint. And that answered the question how we're planning to target those customers. We're gonna build relationships, so it's gonna provide us the referrals, and we're gonna create a customer perception that we're gonna be best in class. But first, we have that relationships, and then we build the second, and that's how Taxle is gonna succeed in that market. Now let's take a look at the Porter 5 force. In the Porter 5 force, we have a low force for the threat of new entrants. We know why. There is not such a big capital investment in this market. It's a lot of small companies that come and goes. They face the main threat, which is reputation, customer perception. They don't have that. They don't have those referrals, but that's what Taxle does have. Then we have the bargain power of suppliers. That one is low too. There is not big capital investment here. But on the other side, we see like a big force related to the bargain power of buyers. Customers drive these markets. Same with the substitutes, and all those together create like a high rivalry for this market. And Taxle is gonna position ready to size that, starting with the Spokane market. Now let's take a look to the competition analysis. So what happened in the current competition analysis for tax services? We have the do-it-yourself companies, TurboTax, Asian Blocks. They have an amazing online system, but they lack the capability to fulfill the needs of millennials, because they can't provide that customized service. They're looking for mass service at a discount price, and that's not Taxle's business. And then on the other side, we have these over-specialized CPA firms, but at the same time they lack the flexibility. And then in between all these two worlds, what Taxle is looking for is to bring together the best of those two tax services worlds. Taxle is gonna integrate online services with a customized service to provide best in class. That means customer perception as its best, and that means also building relationships. That's gonna be key to succeed. That's gonna set us apart from the competition, because we know in these industries referrals are very, very important. Taxle know that. The other companies, I don't think they know that well, and Taxle has already secured the best to succeed in this. Now let's talk about risk. As any industry, the tax industry has its own risk. Let's take a look at this through a SWOT analysis. We're gonna look into the strengths, we're gonna look into the weaknesses, we're gonna look into the threats and the opportunities. So the main strength that we see in these industries is that it's a customer service driven industry. Expertise is very important. We enjoy in a great environment that we have right now. Uncertainty in tax regulation is required by law, so it's gonna be here for many, many years. And it also has a low initial capital cost. Now, if we look into the weaknesses, it's a highly competitive industry, very fragmented. Competition is fierce, and we are ready to embrace that. So we have the threat of new entrant. We also have the threats of lack of recognitions. And then let's look into the threats. So what are the main threats of this industries. It's the low barrier that other businesses have to enter. It can be easy copied. There's a lot of substitute, but Taxle is ready to position on that. And the other one, we have strong competition for national brands. And last but not least, tax regulation. The same way that the tax regulation changed for an advantage, it can change to simplify the tax code. If there is a simplification in the tax code, it means that less people is going to demand for specialized services. We don't foresee that, but that is a real threat. Finally, as an opportunity, this is an industry in which if we form partnerships and we bring referrals, we're going to enjoy a lot of revenue. The same way, if the tax law change, it brings uncertainty. That's more opportunity. It has a low capital investment and it's required by law. Now let's talk a little bit about our business operation. Our business operation is going to be led by Denise Donnie. Denise Donnie is a certified financial planner with over 70 years of experience in the field. Denise is a great professional with a lot of potential, and she has what is required to drive Taxle. She has already experience with another startup, and we believe she has the right set of skills to bring it forward. Together with Denise, we're gonna have Molly Devil. Molly has over 10 years of experience with technology. She's gonna help us build Taxle technologically from bottom to top, created in an integration of all our online system with our CVAs, with our admins. It's gonna be a strong operating company. So on top of that, we have this senior CPA. So senior CPAs is going to drive the company. We're going to have one over the first 3 years and then other CPAs under that as demanded. And we're going to have an admin to help out with the daily service. So last but not least, let's talk about social responsibility and sustainability. First, we have our customer, then we have our employees, and then we have the environment. A happy customer, it means happy employees. We have our cost structure that is going to warranty our employee is going to live by the same standard as our customer. It means flexibility in their scale. It means higher wage. It means that they were not going to require to ask permission to take vacation, to take sick days. And last is the environment. We're going to be environmental friendly company. We're going to follow all the regulations and decrease as much as possible our footprint to the environment. Now let's take a look to Taxle's 3-year milestone. During the first year, the most important thing is getting ready for business. It sounds like a cliche, but it's very, very important. It means secure our SBA loan, hire the people, getting the building on, get all the computers that we need, get the admin. All that takes a lot of work, and we're going to focus on the first year to be ready for operation. On the second year, it's going to be very, very important. At the same time, we're going to build Taxle. We want to build Taxle to the future, and people cannot copy. That means trademarks. We're going to trademark Taxle. We're going to trademark our logo, so no one can copy us. So when our customers see us, they say, yes, they are Taxle. They are the best, and we're going to go for them. And last, we're going to have our 3-year milestone in which we're going to get together and see and review all the other 3 years and move forward. So how are we going to move past our first clients? It's going to be key for us to bring partnerships, because partnerships bring referrals. So to move outside of 3-year windows, Taxle is going to focus on keep building those relationships with other networks. It means building outside of the area, more partnership, going national, and getting recognized, and all that is going to create the condition to expand and scale Taxle. Referrals are important, customer perception are important as well. So last but not least, let's talk about financials. So in the financial, our main concern is securing the SBA loan. We know it's not easy, but we know what banks are after. Banks are after our ability for Taxle to pay debt, and we're going to show that Taxle is going to be ready for that, and we can do it. We're going to be backed by our parent company, Financial Tracks, which is led by Denise. It has a low debt to income ratio. It has over 3 years of stored revenue, and we're also going to provide some collateral. With all that in mind, we believe we're going to secure the SBA for the first year of operation. So last but not least, if you want to learn more, please go to our business plan. Don't forget to visit us at www.taxle.com, or if you want to call us, 1-800-34-TAXLE. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate you staying with me for this 15 minutes. It's been a great honor, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation.